Hello there. Thank you so much for finding time to join us for the Dear Parent Show. We are so grateful and thankful that you chose to be with us once again. I am Nashami Wangara and I am your host. Always a joy coming your way with fresh episodes. And thank you so much for everyone that is part of this journey. Thank you for finding time to watch and just share this with other people, for your feedback through the comment section. Thank you. I really appreciate you. And some that even reach out, they call me and we talk about all this. I am so grateful. Thank you for enjoying the journey with us. We are a happy people because you are happy. Yay! But I just also want to say this. We have been doing this for a few months now, meaning before this particular episode, we have other episodes that we have aired. So please go back if you haven't watched. There are a number of episodes that you can watch and pick something from them and learn something and be encouraged and just, grow as you enjoy the journey of parenting. Our theme in this show has always been that we are here to learn, we are here to unlearn, and we are here to relearn. So ultimately, it's all about learning. It's a learning. Parenting is a learning journey. We keep learning new things. We keep relearning new things. And we unlearn some things that we thought were the only way to do stuff. So it's a journey that I invite everyone. So if you know anyone that needs to be part of this journey, take them to the channel. Let them subscribe. Let them be part of these conversations. And together, we enjoy the journey while at it. Today, I am honored. I am honored to have an amazing gentleman join me on set, and I'm happy that he came. And even as we get to know him, I know we're going to have a good one. So I invite you to join us for the next minutes or so that we can together just have a beautiful conversation. So don't go away. Don't minimize na mute. Watch it flow mpaka to the very last conversation. Join us and let's do this together. Hi bro.
Hi.
Itakuwaje?
Itakuwa sawa.
Ishakuwa? Swaka, Emmanuel.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I am so much excited to be here on this stage, on this platform. And congratulations for this platform. I've been watching quite a number of episodes that you've managed to do. And it's an exciting platform because we get to know people, to get to know their growing up and what they do, especially in supporting the great initiative of parenting. Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for coming and thank you for agreeing to be here. I really appreciate that.
Pleasure.
Alafu, how have you been generally?
I've been well. I've been doing well. I've seen God in my life. I've seen amazing things happen. Some of the most exciting dreams that I've had showing up and unraveling, and I am so much excited for what the future has for me.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
All right.
Na mwaka iko aje so far?
Mwaka iko poa. I'm excited for how we've carried on in the first half. I've seen quite a number of developments happening. I've been part of quite amazing things, both in life, in family, in church, and also in school. And I'm very much excited about what God is doing for me.
Amazing.
All right.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So, officially, tell us your names. Forget the way I jumped into it and telling us. So, tell us, who are you generally?
All right. My name is Swaka. I'm known as Swaka. But my official name is Emmanuel Swaka. And my father's name is Mr. Wamboe. So I'm known as Emmanuel Swaka Wamboe. Yes.
But you're also known as chairman.
I am also
Why
known
do people
as
call you
chairman. There was a time I was a chairman in church of our youth group growing up.
Yeah.
And also there was a time I chaired another something in our village and it went on successful. So people started calling me chairman. In that if there is something that is happening, they would want me to be involved first. If there is trouble in the city, or if there is a bereavement in town, our people will want to make sure that Swaka has known about it first. And so by default they started calling me chairman. But also I came to understand that the man I was named after had this habit of going round with his own chair. Yes.
So there's a chair.
Yes,
chair.
If he was to come on this show or in this place, he will carry his own chair.
Okay. And
his own cap.
Okay.
And you see a chair from where we come from, a chair is called Shala.
Sala.
So they used to say Swaka wish Sala. So so when you convert that into, let's say in English,
yes,
Sala is like a chairman, a chairman,
the man of the chair,
the man of the chair. Yes. So I relate with that name very well.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe you should also start working with your chair.
I should.
Yeah, please.
And a cup.
Yes. Oh,
yeah. A chair and a cup. Those two things. Yes, a chair and a cup.
Please just follow in the footsteps of your predecessor.
I should do that.
We want that chair so that
yes, when I'm going anywhere, I have my
Swaka
specific chair. Yes.
Swaka wish Sala.
Swaka wish Sala.
Buzz.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want you to tell me about your family generally.
All right.
Mr. Wamboye's family, that is. Yes.
Mr. Wamboye's family. My father is Mr. Wamboye.
Yes.
And my mom is called Ruth. And together they were blessed with 7 children. So in the 7th children, I was the firstborn.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
The firstborn.
Firstborn association.
Yes, Mr. Wamboye and Ruth were blessed with 4 sons and 3 girls.
Like my mother.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
4 sons
and 3 daughters.
And 3 daughters. And I happened to be the first. And one amazing thing about our family was Mr. Wamboye and Ruth came together as husband and wife in 1984. And they were not blessed by children immediately. So they stayed like for 3 years. And for 3 years, basically understanding the background of our culture, if you stay with a woman or the wife for 3 years and a child is not showing up, there will be quite a number of mamas around and complaints and people start talking about. And so around that time, because I'm telling you something I've been told by them,
true.
it was not now a marriage that was now being supported by relatives and friends. Because now a child was not showing up. So a child showed up after 3 years.
You showed up?
When I showed up after 3 years. So when I showed up after 3 years, my father called me Manuel.
God with us.
God with us.
Aww.
It's because of the things that they had been through, what was said about them, if not God being together with them,
true.
that marriage would not have stood. Yes. True. So my father called me Emmanuel. Yes. Then he named me Swaka, his grandfather.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing. So you're the first one, and the last one who's the last one? A girl or a boy?
Our last born is a girl.
You see the way you're trying to remember. What is wrong with you men? You don't have these things at your fingertips like
yes,
us.
You do. Yes, I have our last born is a sister.
It's a girl. Okay.
She's called Barbara.
Okay.
Wamboye.
I think I've seen her somewhere on social media.
You did.
Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. And when you're talking about where were you raised in your formative years?
I was born in this city. I was born in this city. Then we went home. We relocated to the village in 1992 when I was 5 years old. So when we went home, we were not relocating. We were attending a burial. So a family member had passed on, so we were going home for burial.
Yes.
So when we went home, there was also a problem in our family setup, in that our elder uncles were now overwhelming my grandmother and were trying to fight her because of the land. And by that time, my father was not established in the village. He didn't have a house. And so it was now prudent for our mom to remain in the village, so that now when she's at home, my grandmother will have support. Will have support against the fights that were coming from our external relatives. And that's how I remained at home.
Okay.
Yes. So in the village, in 1992 I was 5 years old. So I grew up in the village for another 10 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's from 1992 to 2002. Then I came back to the city in 2003. In 2003, I was 16 years old. So basically, I can say in my formative years, yes, I was in the village for
10 years or so.
For 10 years. The first 5 years of my life, I was in this city. I went home when I was five.
And then you
I grew up there when I was from 5 to the age of 16. Then I came back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So from 2003, I have been in this city.
Hey,
so
been in this city
the better part of my life is in
Nairobi than see, like some of us that came to this city for the first time. I think the first time I ever came to Nairobi.
Yes.
How old was I? I think I was 20 or 21. 20. I think I was 19 or 20.
Yes.
That is after high school though.
Yes.
And I didn't really come like to the city. I was going to Ukambani.
Yes.
So
you were passing by.
I actually passed by and saw many lights. And then we had the country bus. And then country bus, another vehicle to Kitui. So I just remember many lights. That's all I remember. But at least I remember country bus.
Yes.
That was my very first. I was 19 the very first time.
Yes.
But staying in Nairobi, really, I think I was 23. That's the first time I came to stay in Nairobi.
Right.
But anyway, so Swaka, tell me about you, Swaka, as a teenager, because now I'm looking at you as a teenager. Part of you were in the village,
yes,
and then part of it you're back in the city. So tell me about Swaka as a teenager. Things that you can remember that you want to highlight.
Yes. Yeah. Like I've explained to you, I was in the village for
between 5 and
15.
Yes.
So I went to school in primary school. I was enrolled to Eptai Primary in 1993. And in 1993, I was to go to class 1. But the teachers said because they want to the pupils they wanted to take to class 1. They had already prepared them. They cannot invite another one to join them. So I was taken back to nursery in 1993, so that now from 1994
you can now join class 1.
1994 can now join class 1. And it also helped me because I had gone through the nursery education in Nairobi. So in the village I was very sharp.
You're the best.
Yes, I was the best. So when I joined nursery in 1993, I went all the way as one of the best students in my schooling journey. And in 2001 I was now 14 years. That's when I started for my KCPE. But I grew up now as a village boy. Yes, doing everything a village boy will do. Being raised in the village, where together my parents were all of them at home, and so raising me in the village just as any other young boy will rise. That's how I rose.
Okay.
And I did everything a village boy will do.
For example,
I played football in the village. In our place we call it Lisubo.
Yes,
we'll do that.
The Lisubo one.
Yes, the Lisubo will do that.
Yes.
And we built houses. we went for disco matangas.
Hapo sana sana. I was wondering,
Yes,
how are you in the village and you didn't do
those
disco
things.
matanga?
I did those things. And you see, also, what made us to do much of that was that in our home setup, like in our family, in our larger family, our home was like the meeting point.
Oh.
So if there is a disco matanga somewhere, people would meet at our home.
There. Yes.
So there is no way
you would miss.
I would miss. So we went. We fought in the village. We learned to write letters to girls in the village as a village boy would do. And when I went to Form 1 at the age of 14, unfortunately I was in Form 1 and 2, age 14 and 15. That's when I left. And by that time, I can say I was quite a good boy. That's how I can tell who I was. I was a good boy. I was not involved in any bad things.
Okay.
And when I came to this city now, now in my mid-teen age,
true.
that's when I can say it was at a very vulnerable stage of my life. And the chances of me now breaking or becoming were now high.
Yeah, true.
Because now when I came to live with my uncle. My uncle, the brother to my mom, he's a carpenter, and he owns a furniture making workshop.
Yeah.
So that's who I came to live with.
Okay.
And now, because now I was now in this city with him, he's not a disciplinarian guy. So with him, I was free to do anything I want. He was not strict with me. And sometimes when I look back at my life, I say, not being strict with me, because again, when I look at his life also, there were some other factors and fights and battles of life that he was facing. His personal life, his marriage was not stable, and his wife left when I had just lived with them for 1 year. So the better part of my teenage I was with him, and that's now I would say some of the bad things I did as a teenager, I got influenced in that house because he was not disciplinarian. And then him being a man in his early 40s, that one would mean me living with him. He will definitely, as a man, as a Luya man, angekuwa na wageni, ladies will visit him. I'll cook for them.
Luya man.
Yes, he was
kwani other men don't as a Luya man.
No, Luya man to be specific.
Okay.
So I'll say the better part of the bad manners I learned in life, I learned in that house.
Okay.
Yes, I learned from him. Not that he taught me, but I'll observe.
Apo sana sana.
Yes. Yes, as a teenager, now in my formation age.
Yeah.
You are now 17. You are now able to know what is wrong and right. And also you need somebody to direct you, to lead you, to guide you. This man who is supposed to be like a father to me, he is doing the very, very things my own father was strict about. Yes.
You know, you're saying that, and something, I'm just thinking of something here right now, because sometimes there are people, and I'm glad you brought that out.
Yes.
There are people who are not parents yet, for example, but they have been tasked with that responsibility of parenting. It is not your flesh and blood. Maybe it's a niece, a nephew, or even younger brothers. Because we have those people who, let's say, I am in my 30s, and I have a sibling who is 10.
Who's 10, yes.
So literally, it's like my son.
Yes.
And so the whole place of, sometimes you say, it's not my kid, si wangu, shauri yake. So I would just want you for a minute, even before we continue, I want you to talk to such kind of people. You have been given the responsibility of raising someone's child. Your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, whatsoever. Just talk to such people through this camera and just tell them on how their role even in these children's lives, please.
You see, when you have the privilege of raising someone, what basically entails of you or is expected of you is that in your conduct, in the decisions that you make in life, in your character, in your speech, this young person who is growing under you is watching.
Yes.
So it's very important to be careful in what you do and what you say. It might not have an impact immediately, but it speaks so much in shaping the life and the destiny of this person. Yes, because most of us we found ourselves we've tried to tailor our path through the things we watched our elder people do.
Yeah.
Like for example, in my case, he is my uncle, my biological, my maternal uncle. Yes, but that man was a brother to me. He was like a big brother to me. He was like a father to me as well. But again, in that he was not so strict on so many things, the things that he was doing, I ended up doing same things. Same things.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true. Because so, and I think you are speaking, but then you're also speaking to me when you're speaking like that. In that whole place of, if I give you my son to stay with you, Emmanuel, number one, I've trusted you.
Yes.
That is a high level of trust.
Yes.
And I mean, just stepping in the shoes, because when I am not there, you're the parent.
You are the parent, yes.
You're not a friend.
You are responsible for anything that will happen to this person.
And so I think we need to do a better job.
Exactly.
Because sometimes I think we are so geared on, nani amespoil watoto wake, ameniletea mtoto amespoilika. When they're in your house, you are the parent.
You are the parent.
Take the responsibility.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for bringing that out. It has come out so well.
Yes.
Because sometimes tuonanga tu, mi bora mi sina watoto. Oh, talking of which, hata afadhali may bring up hivo.
Yes.
One thing that life taught me, when you are young, and this is to them that are not parents yet.
Yes,
this, for example, such shows are important because they help open us and prepare us for that. But one thing I've always said, Emmanuel, if you're not a parent yet, start practicing parenting.
Exactly.
Take any opportunity to practice parenting. Young girls, let me talk to young single girls. You are 20, 23, 25, you're not married. Have a question. Have you ever had a chance to even just take care of a newborn baby? That is practicing parenting. So if you have that big sister who has a baby, please go and help.
Yes.
Usione ati, guy, watoto, oh my God. No, get there, learn. You have a chance to stay with an a younger brother. Take that opportunity. We are learning parenting already. Kabla tupate watoto wetu, si ndio?
And another thing, you see, when it comes to parenting, even God himself had to trust someone with his own son. Because Jesus is the Son of God.
Yes.
The only begotten Son of God. And so, when the Bible tells us that Jesus, he was to come in the flesh, God had to trust someone to raise his son.
Yes.
Number one, you will also realize that Jesus needed somebody to protect him. And Joseph did that thing.
He was a good cover.
Yes, he covered Jesus very well. Because you remember when we read the Bible, when Jesus was when Herod had wanted to kill young people. If Joseph had to protect Jesus together with his mother.
Yes.
So Joseph running together with his family to Egypt, he was covering this man.
He was a real father.
Joseph was a carpenter. In those days, carpenter was one of the best paying jobs of that time. So he needed somebody to provide for him. So parenting means a lot, because you also need to step in to provide for these people. Also, you need also to shape this person's character. The Bible tells us that Joseph was a righteous man. So Jesus was also supposed to grow up in the hands of a righteous man. So that when he stands to talk about the things of kingdom, he is talking from the things he also learned from somebody. You see, so when you are in the place of parenting, or when the privilege of parenting has been bestowed to you, you must do it with a lot of with a lot of pride.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
because
it is such an honor.
It's an honor. It's a huge responsibility. It's also, I can say, it's a blessing in itself. Many people outside here, there are those who do that with pride.
Yeah.
There are those who have not been given the privilege to raise children. So when you do that, make sure that you are doing it right. You are shaping this person, their character, their mindset, their worldview is entrusted in your hands. So you must do it, and you do it well.
And they don't have to be your blood.
They don't have to be your
si
blood.
lazima ati ati ni mwenye nimezaa ndio ati you take care of yours vizuri and this other one you overlook like si wangu hata hivyo. No, you are the parent of that moment. Do a good
the
job.
Responsibility has been bestowed upon you.
Yes,
it's an honor.
Yes. So carry it with pride.
Exactly.
Nice. Sawa Emmanuel. So I want us to go through a letter here.
Yes.
You could use that book too. So I want us to go through a letter here from this book that we are always using. We have always said kitabu ikiwa unakitaka utakipata. It is available at Nuria Bookstore. So don't say you never have a copy because ujukule iko. Nuria Bookstore, you'll get a copy of Dear Parent.
Yes.
So we're going to read a letter here.
Yes.
We hear the thoughts of this young person and just discuss through it. Sawa.
Yes.
All right, let's begin. And the child begins by saying, "My dear parents, I love you. Allow me begin by saying that because I truly do. I always thank God that I have both parents because I have classmates who have one parent and some who do not have either parent.
Yes.
So I am thankful that I have both parents. You know, that's a beautiful beginning of a letter. If someone begins a letter for you like that, you will be at ease to continue with the content.
Sure.
Juu amekuja na uzuri. Hajakuja kufight. Like, hi dad, mom, nawapenda tu sana. And I'm glad that I have both of you.
Yes.
Because the gift of both parents is such a blessing that should not be overlooked.
It's a huge blessing.
There are people who have never experienced them around, or some who their period was shortened because life happened and maybe their parents rested. So this girl begins on a very good note.
Yes.
I am glad I have both of
parents you. Because she acknowledges that she has classmates who have one parent and some do not have either parents.
Exactly.
Yes.
So Emmanuel, are you proud that Mr. and Mrs. Wamboya are still around?
I am very proud of those of my parents. And when I've just read this letter here, this starting point, and it reminded me of some time in church where I grew up. There were these friends of mine who they didn't know their father. They only knew of their mother. So at some point, one of them confronted their mom and wanted to know, Mom, then they told him, Mom, who is our father? So there were two boys. One of them confronted the mom. One was not. Yes, he didn't want to go that direction. So when mom was not giving answers, they went to our pastor. And the advice they got from the pastor was that if mom is not comfortable to let you know who your dad is, don't force. But the pastor also told him that there are so many other good approaches you can use to get to know your father. And from that point, it made me to appreciate the fact that I still have my parents. I had not seen it in that direction. I had not seen it in that angle. But the fact that my father is still alive, I greatly appreciate something like that.
Me too.
And one thing I've said these things severally to my siblings and also to my friends around me, that one thing I appreciate about my dad is that if there is one thing our father gave us, was the gift of presence. My father has been present in our lives in all seasons.
Amen.
In the seasons of lack, our father was there. In the seasons when we have now plenty, the presence of our father has always been there. So I appreciate my dad so much about that.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate too that I have both Mr. and Mrs. Wangara.
Yes.
They are still around and they are amazing people. Dad.
Yes.
Siku moja I should just do a clip on my dad.
You should.
Hiyo siku amta pumua.
Namuonaga kwa TV.
Napenda umzae. Dad, Mr. Francis Mshuru Wangara.
Yes.
I love you.
He is a great man.
I'm glad you're my father.
Katibu.
Acha tutoke kwa mzae.
Yes.
Turudi hapa. So she continues and says, but I have a concern.
Yes.
No, I have a number of concerns that I would wish to address.
Yes.
First and foremost, will you stop blaming us for everything that goes wrong in the family or in your lives?
Yes.
How can a parent say that her children are the reason they are in poverty? Mm-hmm. Yes, we are 6 of us and things are not easy.
Yes.
We survive daily and even education is a hassle.
Yes.
But when you look at the current state of things and say we are the reason you are always broke, what are we supposed to do?
Yes.
I am your firstborn. I am only 17 years old. What am I supposed to do when me and my siblings are blamed for what isn't really our fault?
Right.
I mean, Swaka, parenting has its dynamics.
Yes.
And it's never walk in the park.
Yes.
It's work. It's behind the scenes. There are tears being cried. There are efforts being made. There is so much that parents have to do.
Yes.
But why would a parent rub it in the faces of their child? Why? Because, I mean, these are children. Wewe wakati uliwa bring on earth, they became your responsibility. So why are you pointing to them that they are your problem? Why would a parent even attempt to say that?
Yes, I get to understand the weight of parenting, and especially in people who are parenting in tough times,
yes,
as this that we are in.
Yes.
It is so wrong, morally wrong, to blame a situation that a family finds in on children, because number one, children did not apply to be born.
They didn't sign up.
Yes, no one signed up to be born in the family they were born in. So taking the blame on children is totally wrong. And this one has so many effects on children. It can bring about the worst in them. Yeah. Because raising 6 children is not an easy part.
It is not.
And poverty is sometimes brought about by things that are out of people's control. Sometimes you can say maybe they failed to plan themselves. Yes, that could be true. But sometimes it is beyond their control. And so you cannot blame the state of your life on the fact that you are raising this number of children. It is morally wrong. Like I told you, we were in our household, we were born 7.
Yes.
These 7, when I told you when we went home in 1992, we were 4. So the other 3 were born when we were in the village.
Yes.
So most of my siblings have never seen my father with a salary. They've never. Even my brother Benjamin, ukimuuliza atakwambia, I've never seen my father with a salary. So in the village, like I told you, growing up in the village as a village boy, and because I went home at the age of 5, I was now able to see things. And now seeing life transit from a certain level to another level, and sometimes you could hear friends or even relatives accuse our parents, maybe because the reason as to why you are not coming out of your poverty is because unaendelea tu kuzaa watoto wengi, you know, such like accusations. I heard about that. I heard our relatives abuse mom of the same, my mother of the same, and even my that's a topic of another day. I dropped out of school when I was in Form 2. Coming to Nairobi at the age of 16 was not because I had not completed high school. But my relatives were in better positions, they could help. But you see, at that time, when I was dropping out in Form 2, our last born was 2 weeks old. So my mother, who was our sole breadwinner, had a 2-week-old baby. So it was very difficult to even go to a relative and borrow or even ask for help. Atasema na wewe unataka usaidizi na mama yako amezaa. You get that? But again, poverty is not something you need to pin on children. Because these are young ones who are still growing up. When you pin on them or when you blame them, it works against their esteem. It can even work on their mental health.
Yeah.
Because they will say, maybe because we are suffering because we are the reason as why we are suffering. And so it can even affect their performance in school.
In every way.
Yes. So blame game should be taken out of children of the same.
And then also you're saying that, and I'm remembering, I think it's a conversation we had here with somebody.
Yes.
I can't remember who, but the whole place, for example.
Yes.
No, actually it is a young person who said here.
Yes.
Esther, if I remember very well. She said,
yes.
You know, in as much as we want to be in your lives,
yes.
parents,
yes.
Sasa haimaanishi tunakuja kuniambia kila kitu. For example, mkikosana na dad,
yes.
unakuja unanipasha, baba yako siku hizi, baba yako alifanya.
Yes.
I mean, kids should not know that.
Yes, kids should not know that.
We are not saying you will paint a happy, amazing couple,
no.
but you don't preempt some of things to them.
Yes.
Because sometimes we just throw to kids things that we shouldn't. And
throwing that way, you see, when you do that, and these are children who are growing up, and they are watching, they'll end up now hating on one parent because ataona labda baba afanye enough, and then they will have a perception on the father, or the father anafanya enough, then wanaona maybe mom is not supportive to dad, and that now can also have a crush on the whole relationship in family.
Whoosh.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to just literally separate
that. Yes.
Tuache kurushia watoto.
Yes.
We strive to make things happen.
Your role as a parent is to provide, to protect. So even when providing is now hard because of tough economic times that we are in, it does not give you it does not give you an authority or an to now push the blame on the kids.
Allow me ask something.
Yes.
Just off this.
Yes.
So you're 7 of you.
Yes.
So minus you, the firstborn, the 6 ones.
Yes.
And were the 6 able to continue with school and finish?
Yes, they did. We were 7, like I told you.
Yeah.
But in 8 years back, my brother passed on. So tukabaki
6 of you.
Tukabaki 6 of us. When I dropped out of school, when I came to
Nairobi
to live with my uncle, so what I came to do was to kujifunza kazi. That was the thing. Niende nijifunze kazi. And now that my uncle was a carpenter, and he had a carpenter shop, so nilikuja kufanya kazi na yeye pale to learn on the job.
Yeah.
And my siblings walikuwa still young. And by the time my brother my sister ndio hakukuja akaendelea masomo, who follows me now, my immediate follower, ndio hakuweza kuendelea na masomo sasa. Alifanya tu class 8 na akaachia hapo. But now my brother who passed on, alikuja akamaliza form 4, the other one akamaliza form 4, Benjamin akamaliza form 4 na akaproceed to university. And one thing I always say that what makes me to see why they had an easy journey, because now when I came, being the firstborn, na nikakuja kujifunza kazi, na because we were at the workshop, kuna times ningepewa kitu, na I will now support my parents with the same. So when when I turned 18 years, I applied for now an ID card. So when I applied an ID card iliishi haikukuja mapema.
Haikujanga mapema kitambo.
Ilikaa mwaka moja na miezi 8 ndio ikakuja. Wakati ID ilikuja, I applied ID in 2005. ID ilikuja 2007. April. So now that you have an ID, in 2007 I was now 20 years. Na sasa pia najua kazi. I could now enda nje kutafuta kazi. So nikaanza kwenda kwa kampuni za Wahindi kupata kupewa kibarua. So ungependa kwa Muhindi angekuwa na kazi anakupatia kibarua like kama anatengeneza frames za mlango anakupatia frames 30 on contract basis. Ukimaliza hizi nitakupatia pesa hii. Ukimaliza hizi nitakupatia pesa hii. So that's how I started now hustling in town. So I will go working from one company to another, industrial area. All the woodworking companies in industrial area, I have worked in most of them. So unaingia pale unapeana kitambulisho, unaenda pale unafanya kazi, unalipwa hiyo siku, unatoka. So my first company, I went to a company called Sitaram Wood. It was on Lunga Road in 2007 April. I was being paid 340 shillings per day.
Wow.
You know that was good money.
Yeah.
340 shillings as a carpenter is like earning 2200 shillings today. 2200 shillings today in the current rate. So na hiyo pesa iko analala huko. Ikifika jioni Muhindi anawalipa and you. So this was I got an opportunity now to be supporting my brothers through school and even my parents. Then what I didn't want to do, what I didn't want my siblings to have, because I was saying the reason as why my parents were unable to support me was because they didn't have a support system. I didn't have an elder brother who could come through for me. I don't want my siblings to have the same cry. So I will support them through that. And it now made it easier for my parents also to see them through school. Yes.
Can I shake your hand? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking up a responsibility.
Yes.
Just ensuring that the narrative changes.
The narrative changes, yes. Because in a family there should be someone who helps in changing the family story.
True.
Yes.
Well done, bro.
Thank you.
Oriom no son.
Yeah.
All right. So this baby comes ni firstborn mwenzako.
Yes.
Anasema, I will admit being a firstborn comes with expectations and responsibilities. Yes. But I'm one person that gets drained by that role. Tell Swaka about it. I am literally the house help of the house. I am the deputy parent in your absence.
Yes.
I even have attended parents meeting one day at a sibling school when you are not around.
Yes.
My goodness, do you know that you have deprived me of my childhood? I have been forced to be an adult in my 17-year-old body. It gets to me so much because when on school holidays, I rarely find time to study, and you will always tell me books are for school, not at home. I wish you just let me be a child, a teenager, and grow up just like my peers do.
All right.
And I'm just speaking from your story.
Yes.
Literally, you had to grow up.
I had.
Haukuwa na chance.
Sikuwa na option.
You just had to grow up.
Yes.
Do you sometimes feel there's a part of your growing up that was either hurried or you missed?
Yes, I do.
In the midst of that.
Because you see, like from the letter where we just read, the writer is saying that she feels that she has been robbed of her childhood.
Yes.
But you see, when you dwell on the brighter side of that, you'll realize that this person has been forced to learn responsibility
at an
early age, which is also a good thing, because this person was not babysitted. He was not pampered.
Come on.
Yes. You are forced to face life the way you are. Like you've seen, from my story as well, I can relate with the writer of this letter.
Yeah.
When I went to Form 1, like from when I was in class 7, we were, this is how we were raised up. Ukifika home from school, what you need to do is that you wende uchote maji. So in class 7 naweza beba mtungi ya 20 liters na madhehe dan our mother alikuwa ametupatia rule unaenda mara 2. Sasa nikienda mitungi 2, my sister aende mitungi 2. Hawa my brothers wangu walikuwa wadogo wanaweza beba pia hivyo kidogo. It means that you have now the house will have water. Then what our mom used to do was that chenye atatafuta ni mboga. Kama ni kwenda kwa shamba kuchuna mboga kuprepare, she'll do that. Na anaweka up. So when you come home, the first thing, this was the rule in our house. Ukifika home, enda maji, ukishaleta maji mara 2, enda uoge. Ukishamaliza kuoga, enda jikoni upike. Nimewatengenezea mboga. That's what my mother would say.
So you do the cooking.
Yes, so me I'll go in the kitchen and fix the family supper.
Yeah.
When I'm done, that's when I can go to the table and do my revision. So there is no way I could go to do my homework or schoolwork, whatever, before I fix the family
dinner for the family.
Yes. Hata wakati nilienda form 1 and 2, that was the rule in our house. And it's still the same even today. Even all of my siblings have gone through the same rules.
So you, according to you, in as much as you choose to see the brighter side.
Yes, I choose to dwell on the brighter side of this.
Because there was room for learning responsibility early.
Yes.
Because some learn very late.
I have a friend of mine who at some point he had teenage children, but these teenage children could not even fix their tea. And as a parent, you see, you cannot be there all the time. Sometimes work will require you to be out of town.
Yes.
Or even a family's issue. So who will you leave behind to fix all these things for this? So when children are now being brought up and they are forced to learn responsibility, it is also for their good.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
I think I have is it a friend? Ama ni story nilisikia either. No, it's a friend. No, okay, ni wa kitambo, si friend, hata sijui anaitwa nani, nisahau jina. But there's a story of a lady who she was getting married. She was actually married. Newly married, I think 2 weeks or 3.
Yes.
And me, when I was told you're lying, there's no way. How can you be at that age? I think she got married around 23. And you don't know how to cook anything. How? Why? Like how?
Yes.
Like nothing.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, why? So I came to learn this girl. Of course, you know, these homes where we grow up with enough house managers.
Yes.
Enough, not one. So you do nothing. They are being paid. So we achana hizo sana, unatoka kwa meza kwa nini? Kwani kazi yake ni nini? Hiyo jikoni, toka huko, enda usome. Ama sijui twende out, sijui whatever. And she goes to a high school. She was a sickling, so she had to be in a day school. So she's still being pampered in the house. College, she was here at UON, still staying in her mother's house. And then she becomes a wife, actually to a Luya man that loves food.
And a Luya man, you must cook for her.
How would you survive with such a woman?
That's why I say, you see, even our growing up, just how I have told you, my growing up, on Saturday, because on weekends, because it was not school days, the rule in our house was that when you wake up on Saturday morning, uchukue jembe.
Yes.
So jembe, I can say, you must uende shamba ulime. Hata kama ujui utapanda nini pale, when you wake up, you go to shamba. Yes. That's what I used to do. So I remember when I was in class 8, form 1 and 2, I had now been able to be planting my own things. I'll plant my skuma wiki. So hiyo skuma, I would sell it skuma wiki. People would buy skuma wiki from me.
From your shop.
So I was able to buy shoes from to buy books, to buy pen from the things that I sell.
You became an entrepreneur kitambo.
Yes. Another thing was I used to plant even sweet potatoes. So my mother alikuwa anajua she's a farmer. Basically she knows how to plant things. So alikuwa ananiambia ya kipanda yake pale na mimi nilime yangu nipande ya. So you'll find that yangu ilikuwa I'll harvest a lot from mine. So in that sense, you'll see that the writer of this letter anaona ni kama she's been burdened,
yes,
that being pushed to the harsh lifestyle. It's like child labor. She doesn't enjoy their childhood.
Yes.
But you see, I don't want to dwell on that.
Yeah,
I'm dwelling on the brighter side of
nice.
yes.
I love that.
You are not being that your parents are not being harsh on you when it comes to learning responsibilities.
Yeah. Yes. Amazing. You've said story ya shamba nikakumbuka. Just a side note. You know me I'm come from Mumias.
Yes.
And we used to plant sugarcane. Or rather, not we, my father.
Yes.
It was his shamba. So, manze tulipalilia miwa mke wangu.
Yes, na unajua miwa ukienda asubuhi, miwa inatakanga upalilie kama
yes, before the sun. My friend, we used to go, when schools close, we have gone to the village, and it is that time tunasikia kulia because madhe atawapanga.
Yes.
Mtsuri, kesho, kila mtu.
Yes.
Lines ngapi.
Yes.
Hakikisha maza lines zako, ukuje ukunywe chai.
Yes.
Njaa inakuma lakini utatoka.
Yes.
Utatoka ujamaliza shivoko inakungoja.
And even now growing up, uweza amuka na utafute chai.
Actually, yes. She knows who will
do chai.
Wachi hapo, uende upike chai.
Na anaenda kupika chai kama amelima kidogo.
Yes.
Kuna mahali utawachia ndio waambie sasa enda nyumbani ufix chai.
And we grew up with this. Yes, we tell people we have really shikad imbako and done that thing, they think it's a joke.
Yes.
Tumelima, tumepalilia. Yes. But it shaped us anyway. In
the long run, the writer of this letter will appreciate.
Yes. That this helped them take up responsibilities early.
Exactly.
Okay. Last paragraph says, I also thought that gone are the days when parents will discriminate between boys and girls. But in my home, it seems the culture has not stopped. You show favoritism to my brothers,
yes.
But as for me and my sister, we are always left out. When my brothers need anything, even if it is school related, they are given. But when my sister and I need something, we have to earn it by doing some work, because nothing comes free and easy for us. We request you to treat us equally, please. We all deserve equal opportunities to better our lives just like they do. Why am I hearing a feminist speak? But anyway, can we talk about the place of just equality? Wanyama wote ni sawa.
Wanyama wote ni sawa. And it is so wrong for a parent to show favoritism. Yes. Because everyone every child deserves to be seen equal, deserves equal treatment, and when it comes to school matters, they deserve to they have the right to education equally. So it's wrong for a parent to want to push the boys towards the direction of education and to limit the same
to the girls.
It is. I've seen that in the village. I've seen that even in town. I've seen that to many parents. They will want to push the boy child towards the direction of school, and it as a parent, no child should earn a treatment. No child should earn a treatment. They are your children. They deserve equal rights. So now to parents who do this, it is a cry from our children and even from us that we see our children raised up equally and being able to access equal opportunities and rights. There is no reason as to why you should deny this, because they are girl child and you give the same to boy children.
And also just in line with that, even the place of just within the home, the way children are different.
Yes.
There would be this that is the rebellious one, or this one that is the smart one.
Yes.
This one that is the cooperative.
Yes.
This one that is slow.
Yes.
This one that is always on point.
Yes.
We even end up showing favoritism with that.
Exactly.
That ule sharp dutaka uchangamke na yeye. And actually, no, wait. There's somebody who shared something juicy. And I love quoting this lady. I think I'll look for her one of these days. I host her.
Yes.
She's called Brenda. And she said something. Watch out for your well-mannered child
Yes.
because they feel left out.
Yes.
How? You focus well on your kona shida.
Yes.
Oh, chapa, rekebisha. Ati, Swaka ni mtoto mzuri. Swaka ataki mambo mingi. Swaka ako sawa. Kumbe Swaka feels left out.
Left out, yes.
Because sasa notice.
Sasa ananyamaza.
Ako tu.
Yes.
You're thinking, wow, the best of all sons
Yes.
is Swaka. These others I need to correct.
Yes.
But Swaka, hakuna issue. There's nothing to do. And you forget them. That is favoritism.
It is favorism.
And it will affect this
will.
good Swaka. Because he feels,
yes.
Actually, Swaka, some become rebellious because of that.
Exactly.
Because I've been too good, they don't notice me.
Yes.
Let me be trouble so that I can gain their attention. Noticed.
And by doing that, that's how you have now opened a door for a child to stray.
Exactly.
Yes. So we must, parents should be very careful in how they treat their children.
Okay.
These small treatments. You see, these things. It is a challenge that most families go through because we are wired differently. My character, my demeanor, how I am outspoken is not the same as my brother does.
True.
When I have a problem, I will share it out. When my brother has a problem, he will not speak out because he's not wired to be outspoken. So it does not mean that me who is outspoken, my parents be too much concerned about my affairs than the other one. So parents need to be careful and observant on how they pass this treatment to our children because they are watching.
Yes. Amazing. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Now we want to finalize, but I want you to speak something to Mr. and Mrs. Wamboye.
Yes.
Those amazing parents that you call your own parents.
All right.
Because I know they will watch this. They have to watch this. So I want you to speak to them. Mr. and Mrs. Wamboye.
Yes. Maybe before I speak that, I will also say something about my mom. I used to see. I grew up. What my mother would wake up at 5 in the morning, and she would go to the shamba first, up until around 7. Then she would prepare. My mother was an ECD teacher, and she would go to the shamba first. And you see, those sacrifices are what are now paying now. And we watched that. And I would say that I am not a forgetful man. I saw all those sacrifices. I watched all those sacrifices. And even to many parents who are going out of the way to make sure that family stands, children are raised, their school is being taken care of. And I really appreciate parents who do the same. And those who are also passing good culture and disciplines to their children, I also want to, I appreciate that kind of effort because we are so mindful of the generation that we are raising and the generation that will have to come after us. It must be a generation that is well raised because we are also mindful of the future.
True.
When you're raising a generation, it is not for now, but it is for posterity.
True.
What will happen 100 years from now? What will happen 10 years from now? What will happen 40 years from now? We want a well-raised generation to rise. And so the efforts every parent is putting into place to make sure that these children are raised well, I appreciate those efforts.
Amazing.
And I want to tell parents that those efforts will reward someday.
Amen.
It might not be now, it might not be tomorrow, but eventually we will see the fruits of the same.
True.
Yes, because a generation, there is no greater investment that is greater than the investment in passing values, raising a generation.
Amazing.
So parenthood, as we said, is a blessing and it's a privilege and it has rewards.
Yes. Amazing.
So to Mr. and Mrs. Amboye, number one, I'm so grateful to have been born by them. It's an honor, privilege that I take with pride, that I call myself a son of Mr. and Mrs. Amboy.
Amen.
Yes. They taught me kingdom things. I have walked into the same paths, even to where I have reached. I am so glad of the efforts that they have put into place, the sacrifices, the tears, the pains that they have been able to go through to make sure that we rise and we stand. One day we will reward them.
Amen.
Yes,
Amazing.
one day we will.
Amazing.
Yes, there was a day nilikuwa nataka ninunulie mama yangu sabuni, hii basop, and I wanted to tell her asijaribu kukata hiyo basop kwa vipande vipande. Kama ni kwenda kuoga aende nayo.
Because she has cut in the first time.
Yes. So we are so we are not a forgetful people. Every journey I have gone through, every single journey we have gone through as a family, I know everything because I've been part of the same. And I can tell you that my parents have paid a huge price, and they have a desire to see us do well, to see us rise, to see us change the narrative. Yes. Amazing. And by the help of God, we are doing that.
Amazing.
We are not yet there, but we can see
making
it.
Progress.
Yes, we are making progress. Their efforts were not in vain.
Amazing.
Their prayers, even to this day, are not prayers that are going out of the way. God is very much concerned with the same, and one day they will see the fruits of the same.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Thank you for being an amazing son.
Wow.
Thank you for being an amazing firstborn.
All right.
Thank you for being a model to your brothers.
Yes.
And thank you for making your parents proud this far.
Amen.
I celebrate you, bro.
I'm grateful for that.
And thank you for coming today.
And thank you for having me.
I think better part of this conversation, you have been vulnerable to just share your journey, which is really something I appreciate. So thank you so much.
I have a quite a sad life story, but when you look at it on the brighter side, it is also not a sad one. God has been involved in it.
You are one very positive person. Yani mimi najaribu kukuvuta kwa negative unanirudisha kwa positive. Najaribu kupeleka kwa giza unanirudisha kwa light.
On the brighter side.
That's
we dwell on the brighter side of life.
Because there's so much brightness. When we focus on the darkness, that's all we will see.
We are a people of faith.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And God is involved in every story.
In every detail.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming today.
Yes.
And thank you for speaking to us. I know parents have been challenged.
All right.
Young people have been challenged.
Yes.
I think for me, my parting shot is especially that point when we talked about when you have a responsibility of raising a child that is not your blood.
Yes.
Do it with pride. I think that really stands out for me.
Yes.
So thank you once again, bro.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much everyone for joining us today. Swaka amenifanyile kitu leo, but it's been amazing. And thank you for participating by watching to the very last minute. Watu wamefika hii minute ya mwisho, acha niwapigie makofi. Wenye walitoka tuliwaonea 18. But thank you so much for joining us. The lessons continue as always. The conversations do not stop with this episode. Looking forward to your feedback, even in the comment section. And as we continue having these conversations, we have always said that parenting is an amazing journey.
Yes.
And as Swaka said, I echo his words, do it with pride.
Yes.
Play that role with pride. And remember, you are investing and shaping a generation. You're passing on something. So pass on with pride. Weka kifua juu like this and do it because you are shaping generations. So to every parent, we appreciate you so much. Asanteni sana sana sana. Wazazi wetu asante, mababu zetu asante kwa kutulelea wazazi wetu, na wale ambao saizi ni wazazi wa watoto wa Gen Z, Gen Alpha, even Gen Beta that just began this year, we see you, we appreciate you, we pray for you. We will see you in the next episode of the Dear Parent Show. I have been your host, Nashami Wangara, with my amazing brother, Emmanuel Swaka, aka Chairman.
Chairman himself.
God bless you.
Yes.